Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. Welcome to this week's swing trading live stream. I wanted to start it a little earlier because we are going to be looking at a bunch of stocks today. We're going to be reviewing like 5 or 10 of my more recent swing trades. I want to show you guys because a lot of people always ask me questions about reviewing trades, how I go in and learn from mistakes. So, I hope you guys all enjoy today's video. If you guys do, hit that like button and subscribe. And if you guys want to learn more about swing trading and how to find opportunity, our strategies, our approach, check out our school. It's awesome. We have private live streams, quizzes, lectures, a group chat. We have a final exam. It's an 8-week course, but you guys have lifetime access to it. We constantly add stuff. You guys will have lifetime access to the live stream. So check out the school. Code beginner to get 50% off. Only a couple of spots left for that code. So make sure you guys sign up before that sale ends. And let's turn to the computer and see some of our more recent swing trades here. So, all right. So this past week here, we did take a lot of good trades. We made a good amount of money. But I want to show you guys here kind of our monthly overview, and kind of we can go through like the past 5 trades or so and kind of see what I do to review. So this past month here, we're up about $11,000 in profit. Trade performance right now is at 88%, which is astonishing. One of the best trade performance months we've seen. Pretty much 1 loss, 8 winners, 9 trades total. So, a lot of people think that as a trader, you got to constantly be buying and selling and trading and getting in and out, when in reality, you should always just be choosing quality. One of the main reasons I haven't been trading as much over the past couple of days is because, we're up $11,000. So I wanted to just continue the process of choosing those quality stocks, not jumping in on, some of these trades here. So we'll start here off at VU, and then we'll work our way down here. So with VU here, one of the main reasons I entered this trade is if we look back here, before I ever enter a stock, I want some sort of approach. I want some sort of strategy or breakdown. And with VU here, our entry point was right here, near and around that 532 range, on that 90-day moving average line. And that's kind of where we got in. We knew there was recent support here in the past. It was very undervalued on that RSI. So before you ever place a trade, you want like a checklist. You want like a set of rules before you enter a stock. You don't want to just enter it because I told you to, because your friends told you to. You want it to follow your strategy. So with VU here, we saw this huge sell-off in a short amount of time, right? Where it went from 550 to 530 in like 3 days. And it hit that 90-day moving average line. It also was undervalued on that RSI. And that hourly time frame, as we look at it, where would you want to buy it? In which of these zones? So we bought it in this zone down here, which is a support level. So the great thing about this trade here, let's go ahead and draw it out. We could enter there. We could keep our stop loss about 2%, or about 2%, 1% from the current price, for a possible push to that resistance zone, which is a 4.6 to 1 risk and reward there. So, looking at this is why having, a good risk management system is so important, is because here, I want to make sure you guys can see this here, is because if you guys were starting out with like $500, imagine you found a trade like this, 50 times over the course of a year, risking that 2% with a 4 to 1 risk and reward. Obviously, our win-loss was a little higher, but even if yours is 50%, over the course of a year, guys, you're going to end your account with $500 all the way up to $2,000 with just good risk management with a 50-50 win-loss percentage. Imagine if it's 60. Now, you can see where this compounding really, really is important. So that was kind of the approach I had with this one, was just heavy support in that hourly zone, resistance up here, and we bought here, sold up top. It was as simple as that here. So now let's move on to another one here. I want to go ahead and leave this up so you guys can kind of see. All right, so we'll do something like that. Okay. All right, so another one here that we took a trade on after VU was Netflix. Now, Netflix stock here was a really, really good trade. The approach that I had with this one, um, let me go ahead and pull it up here. So the approach that I had with this was very similar to a lot of the other ones. But this one here was another 90-day moving average play. We knew this stock had great tendencies of getting buying pressure here. So it hit it once, twice, almost 3 times, 4 times. So we knew there was an extremely good amount of support here on that 90-day moving average line, which is that blue line. So it sold off and hit it, but you don't want to just enter there, because the last thing you want it to do is continue to sell off. So you need a confirmation. So as we go and look at the hourly and we zoom out, you guys can see that it was really using this red line as resistance. It hit it here and just had a hard time breaking above it. It also hit it here and had a hard time. So the second the stock popped up above it, this is where we entered the position. Now we knew that there was an earnings coming soon. We were very, very confident. I even said it before I bought it in the group. I said, bought some, earnings is coming. So be cautious. So for a lot of beginners, holding a stock through an earnings is essentially a 50-50 chance of making money, because just as fast as the stock went up, it could get selling pressure and a bad earnings and sell off. But honestly, a lot of luck came into this, and it popped up, rallied up, sold when the market opened. It was as easy as that. But this stock could have went the completely other way. So I think a lot of beginners should avoid holding stocks through an earnings report. It's very, very risky. Now, one of my bigger regrets here was not holding this stock longer. We took profit, which I'm very, very happy about, because this stock and this trade here was one of the best trades we saw this month here, coming in at about $2,000 in profit. Now, the thing is, it never really dipped down below that 50-day, so that yellow line. It never really dipped down, so I think that we could get a push back up, back up to that $1,000 level. And that's one of the things that I really need to work on. And this is why reviewing your trades and doing this is important, because you get to see kind of how the market reacted, how the stock reacted. And so I think going forward, in 2025, holding our positions longer would really benefit us. So let's move on to another stock here. Another stock here that we traded, let's go back to our list here, was CRM. CRM, excellent trade here. CRM is also known as Salesforce. Now, this stock here was beautiful. Looking at this 90-day moving average play again, this 90-day moving average play was awesome. It's been the bread and butter for this month, at least for me. You guys can see where it went from $360 all the way down to $314 in about a month and a half. I never really get fearful of sell-off. I always look at sell-off as an opportunity to buy a stock at a cheaper price. So looking at this here, one of the things that we did is we had that great support, good trend, good undervalued RSI. Going to the hourly time frame, we actually kind of, I wouldn't say missed the boat on this trade, but essentially the best entry point would have been around here at about 324 on the supports of all of this, the support of the moving average line, support of the trend, keeping your stop loss below it. So what we did here that did work out was wait for the push up above the 200-day moving average line. So that red line, when the stock was trading above it, that's where we entered. And it just continued to rally its way up. And then it, hit this as support and started just breaking through relatively quick. So we just sold out with some nice profit here. Each time the market would continue to rally, we would just move our stop loss up and up and up. And then during that trading session, the 29th, we sold out in the morning. So, and good thing we did that, because it did dip down. And I'm well aware that is probably still a trend in this range here, as you guys can kind of see a little dip down there, but essentially good trend going in that direction here. But all right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. If you guys want to learn more about swing trading, check out our school. And don't forget to sign up with Moomoo, which is the broker I am using. A lot of you guys already are, because you guys know that I'm a huge Moomoo guy. It's the broker I use. I'm a huge guy, Moomoo fan. So I'll throw a link to them in the chat, where if you guys want to sign up, you guys can. All right, let's continue to go through this list here. The last one here on our list of, pretty much top 4 or 5 was Nvidia. Nvidia here, as we look at it, was another great trade of about $1,300. Obviously, I think with most of these, we could have made more money if we would have either held them longer, bought in at a lower price, and sold at a higher price. But the thing about trading is it's very, very difficult to do that. It's difficult to buy at the bottom, because you don't want to buy at the bottom without confirmation and just have it continue to sell off. Same thing on the top. You don't want to sell when the stock is hitting, like up 10%, and you don't want to sell all the shares and then have it go to 15%. So there's this fine line of things, that you can do, but you gotta be just very disciplined, I would say, in understanding that, right? Understanding that you're never going to buy at the peak bottom. Very rare do you ever do that. All right. So this play here on Nvidia was honestly one of our sell-off plays. So sell-off, the strategy for this, you can see it's not our bread and butter, but it's still a strategy that does work well. You can see with my approach, there's only 3 setups I trade. I'm not the type of trader where I'm going to have 300 setups and I'm going to know all these different things. No, I'll choose quality and stocks I understand over quantity all day long. So with Nvidia, as we look at the daily, you guys can see it got absolutely crushed, selling off 20% from $148 all the way down to about $117, $116. So during this time in the chat and in our team, I go, okay, maybe when the market opens, we'll wait and we'll enter in the morning. And that's kind of what we did. We saw it pop up after hours, and I go, okay, it's gonna get that reversal. Stock immediately sold off, as you guys can see, back down to this level. You guys can see the previous day low. That's where we are hoping to get in on this trade. When the stock sold off here, it was very difficult because there was so much volume here. If we pull up our volume here, this volume spike was crazy. Everybody was either buying or selling, and it was just going crazy. I did a market order, and the reason I did that was because I wanted to just get in with shares. So we didn't get in on the peak bottom, which I wish I could have at 116. We didn't get, in at a high price over 120, but it was around the 118. I think it was high 117 mark, but nevertheless. So my thought process was this, very, very simple. If we enter here, we could keep our stop loss about 2% for a possible push up, right? Risking $1 to make almost $4, which is really good. The market slowly recovered as the day went on. And then this is where we sold about 60% of our money, was right here, right before the market closed. This day, we were up about like 8 or 9%. And honestly, if I would have sold the rest of my shares, I would have made more money. But I was hoping we could get a breakout like this, where it popped up above that yellow moving average line, which is the 50-day moving average line. It did not do that. It hit it as resistance. So when I saw that, I go, okay, when the market opens, we'll just sell. And then luckily I did sell out of this. Right now, the stock is actually forming something interesting. I'm just looking at this. You can see this huge and steady trend, just like this. As we go ahead, we can actually remove some of this stuff to make it a little clearer for you guys to see. you can see where it hits this point of contact, several times, right? It hits it. We had selling pressure, hit it, selling pressure, almost hit it again here. Let's go ahead and make this a little better so you guys can see it. So it hit this point, selling pressure. So this would have been a really good breakout strategy now that I'm looking at it. So one of the things we could do is see if it retests this line for support. So we could see if this thing sells off a little bit. Let's see where that moving average line is. So actually entering here, stop below, it could be a nice little trade. But right now with Nvidia, there's a lot of volatility among the stock in general. So, I don't know if we'll enter this here. But as the day goes on, it's definitely something to take a look at. All right. So those were all the main stocks that I did trade. So one of the things I want to go ahead and go through with you guys is stocks with opportunity. And a lot of these stocks here were stocks from Monday. So a lot of them carried a lot of potential and the trade kind of already happened. But I still want to show you guys these because there's a lot of great setups here. So with Zoom, ticker symbol ZM, look at this. Look at this breakout strategy. Absolutely fantastic. Remove these here. Huge resistance. Boom, boom, sell off. Great breakout right here. Popped up. Kind of came in to retest maybe a support line and just got fired up and rallied up. So there could have been a great move, from about 79, keeping your stop loss below 76 for possible push up to resistance. This would have been the move to do. But obviously, we took a lot of trades this week. We took a lot of trades, and I didn't want to just start jumping in on random stocks and opportunity. I wanted to focus on these quality setups. So that's kind of where I was at here with this one. Then we got YP. What is this one? YPF. YPF, we're hoping for a breakout approach, possibly here, but I'm not a huge fan of this one. Not a huge fan of this one, to be honest with you guys. Don't like the volatility, the spreads that it has. Could be a move on the 50-day, but you won't see me trading it. This one here, we were gonna buy it yesterday. Do I regret it? Kind of, to be honest. It's up 4% today. We were looking in to get a retest of the 50. Just didn't end up trading it. Continuing on this trend line, which is really, really good. And this is kind of why we are looking at it, is because of this. Great trend line. You could enter here, keep your stops just below this trend for a push and breakout back up to like that 156 level. But overall, guys, this was a pretty good trade. And just didn't end up pulling the trigger on it, but that's going to happen sometimes. So, in hindsight, it's not that big of a deal. So, but I hope you guys are all watching. Hope you guys are all learning. TT, this one here, not a huge fan of this one. Kind of falling flat a little bit on that 200-day moving average line, but definitely could see a move. Trading for a 33, so it's not too bad here. PRCT sold off kind of down below that 200-day moving average line, right? Hit it. We just had that hard time. Hasn't had a nice day candlestick above that 200 days. We're just continuing to wait on that one. PRCH here. Nice 50-day moving average approach. Hit it once, got buying pressure. I do think the spread's a little too high on this, and we do have that. So could see a breakout or something. So we'll just throw an alert there. Not a huge fan of it, to be honest, but you never know. It would be above that 200-day moving average line for that one. PEG, very similar, good trend line going up here. Another one where we kind of just missed the boat, missed the train on it. Not that big of a deal. MNKD here. The volatility on this one is way too big. Not a huge fan of it. But you can see where it pops up, and we're on that downward trend. So we'll just actually delete that. Not a huge fan of that one. GLNG here. This one here was a great approach. These are kind of what I normally will trade. Looking at this here, what do we notice? We notice trend line, hit it, we have great moves of buying pressure. We also know it has heavy support here on that 90-day moving average line, hit it in great buying pressure. And looking at the hourly, it kind of popped up, could see a move above 40 to like 44. Not too shabby though, not too shabby. CMI here, another great trade. This one here is another 90-day moving average play. And this is why moving average lines, guys, are so impactful and so important with your approach, is because you can really help see the support levels here. Great move, popped up. ADMA, not a huge fan. You guys can see where it kind of just starts going flat. Not a huge fan of that. It could be kind of hard to judge, right? It could be kind of hard to judge. Yes, I know we have the trend there. Maybe we'll just throw an alert up here. If it pops up, we'll be ready for that. So, but those are all like the major plays this past week here. So, now here, guys, a couple of things I want to talk about for next week. I am on vacation. Okay, I'm going to be on vacation. So, I don't think I'll be able to go live next week, but we will continue the live streams the week after. And yeah, I'll continue to post videos because I'm scheduling out some videos. But nothing really swing trading unless I do take a swing trade on vacation, which, I probably most likely will. So, but yeah, guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys learned something. Check out our school, Code Beginner, 50% off. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody.